Good morning. We're back. We're back. A good week break of socials, etc. was good. All right, where we on the charts? So we did get that. Let me grab my other drawing tool. When we had this round thing on both assets, I was expecting at some point maybe a retrace before going down. So this is what we got. Do like as a retest to go lower. This double retest of the 4-hour 200 EMA, something that happened in the past quite clearly on Bitcoin. The previous highs before we dropped, we had one here, retest, and more in the vibe of what we've got now is this one. So let's see where we go from here. I had a long on SOL because I really wanted to take that trade in the end. My idea here was really that. Let me go back maybe a bit of a higher time frame. This was clean here, that W sweep of the February lows, and we had this very downtrend, and out of this downtrend here we had this W after what you could call 3 drops somehow. It's not very clean, but and when we were here, my idea was really, if we break market structure, which we only swept, and retest that zone, I'd be keen to go long, which I did yesterday. Oh, battery. Yeah, so off here yesterday, I don't remember where exactly, but I did go long. I wasn't really convinced because for me on Ethereum and Bitcoin, we are going lower. But I just really wanted to respect my idea, so sort of went long like this on a higher time frame trade on my higher time frame account. But the fact that we created a lower high here, and yeah, it wasn't so keen, and then Bitcoin and especially Ethereum showed that retest of the 4-hour. So I decided to exit this trade. So I exited this trade. I didn't really get the hold I was hoping for, but we could still, range, create a triangle here and break up. But I got out of this trade and I got in on the Bitcoin one of this double retest. So I think I got in around here. My stop loss, I don't know if I've put it here or if I went a bit tighter there, but yeah, playing that higher time frame retest of the 4-hour 200, and I'm still on that short from, it was the 12-hour on Ethereum. Once we swept that liquidity here in that supply, I had an entry here. Stop loss is all the way here, and on Monday we had a retest on the 1 hour. I added because I was 0.5% risk on it. I added a full percent risk. I added same, so I'm a full percent risk in. And yeah, but so far we went back to my entry here, so lucky I didn't go break even. I'm still in profit now, but we could still be, ranging here and exactly the same on Bitcoin. But this retest for me is really bearish, something I've seen in the past, and I'm inclined to say that we are going lower. So it's basically where I'm at. Just got those higher time frame trades. I didn't get into any day trading short time frame on the other account. That other account that is in profit so far, I'm 3% up. That other evaluation. So let's see a bit. We had CPI yesterday and we got PPI today. So let's see a little bit what's going on. Nothing crazy. I was about to trade UK yesterday because I finished work early and I ended up not doing it because I had friends coming back, so I just stayed with them. But there was this was really nice. Let's look a bit more on Bitcoin, because it's on Bitcoin was a good trade. The only thing is it was counter trend, so I've got drop 1, drop 2, sort of got a drop 3 that didn't break this low for now, so it is not fully bearish because we haven't broken this low. We've held it, but here on the lower time frame on a 15-minute, you had clear grab of this liquidity here into, there's a bit of a imbalance, displacement here. Beautiful breaker, beautiful W here with call that two morning stars. We did grab liquidity sweep within that W. This was so I was working there, so I didn't take that, but this was potentially a really good trade. And there's a fair value gap here on the 1 hour. Just target this as 1.5 hour trade. It's really nice. And I could have traded that one in UK. It was more, it's really counter trend, and I wasn't expecting us to retrace that much. We actually retraced, like I said, all the way back up to my entry on Ethereum. We broke above this supply here. Quite a sharp move back up and then back down. But this is really nice as well. You've got that range created in Asia. I mean, the low of Asia is here, but you have this clear range here. W holding 50% of Asia, and then here you have this long retrace and retesting the 50 EMA. Same potential, really good long entry. Could have, you probably would have entered, off that candle, because this is a clean retest of 50% of that candle. Stop loss all the way below W, or the second peak if you want to go a little bit tighter. The problem that was bothering me, I saw this, but I was like half at the charts, is that I didn't have a clear target and it was counter trend trading. So not high value, especially before CPI. CPI was here, end of UK. But yeah, this was a really good looking entry regardless. Other than that, I've been looking back at this whole year, my trades every month, which average about 12 trades per month, which is really good. I used to be around 20. I like to have more high quality trades, even if I had negative months. Being in the 12 trades per month range is really good. But what I've noticed is that the trades that I did not hesitate on, and most of the time those trades yield results, like this long on Friday on Bitcoin. Where was it? Yeah, so you had one level, two level, expecting a third one. Grab this liquidity at the start of in Asia and start of UK. This was 50% Asia, so it'd be a little bit of the same setup I just showed. Clean W here. I was half of the chart, but I saw this and I did not hesitate on. So that's when I entered that trade here, and then as we broke up, it was something like 50. I took 50% here because it was resistance, and see how this line, see how it was the fourth time, and usually it's fourth time break, but you never know. If you were here trading and you were expecting you had target those highs, you never took those highs and then retraced all the way back and stopped you out. Same here. If you were targeting those highs, you missed them, you got stopped out, or break even if you went break even. But you never know what price is gonna do, so it made a lot of sense. I usually don't take partials, but to feel good in a trade, it's always good to take partials. So I was break even. I took 50%, and then as price went further up, closer to news, don't remember what news it was, I just dragged aggressively my stop under it, and I think I actually got out somewhere up here, which was really nice. It was a really good trade. So to go back to what I was saying, I went back and looked at how many of those smack in the face trade I had per month, and it's a handful of them. So I want to be more patient. I really want to focus on just those trades, the ones that I don't really think, I don't really doubt, and it's sort of kind of obvious in a way. You never know in trading what's going to happen, but yeah, the ones I really don't think about. And I'd really like to have my average per month of trades go down below 10 now, more in the 5 range, which means way more patient, which means way more boring sessions, which means, not a trade every day, which means being okay, letting go of moves that you had an idea on was probably right, but you did not execute on because you were not 100%. So it means that there's a lot of time price is going to go the way you think it was going to go, but you were not convinced enough to take that trade. And this is a really difficult thing in trading, is don't worry too much about what's going on and just really execute on the those trades you have a 80% probability of working out. And regarding this mindset as well, I always had the mindset to refocus on 1 or 2 really good trades per week. But it's hard when when you're there every session looking at price to refrain yourself from taking a trade. And there's always something that's going to make sense, especially if you stare at every 5-minute candle. It's like you're not forcing a trade, but at some point you're going to find a reasoning on why there's a trade here. So it's more so refraining from that. So regarding this, I had a max loss of 4 consecutive losses per week. That was my max. I had 2 losses max per day and 4 losses max per week. I want to drop this to 2 losses max per week, which is going to be really difficult, which is going to mean I don't have that many bullets. So this is just to force me to be patient. And yeah, really execute on the ones I don't hesitate on. We'll see how I go. But yeah, max 2 loss per week is really not much. And I know that I already have times where I don't execute on something I have a bit of confidence, and then I regret not executing on, like this short at the start of last week here in that zone, which was the low of previous week at CME Open. I was like, oh, there's potentially a trade, but I want confirmation, and I really had a confirmation, and price dropped this whole way here, and it made me frustrated. I ended up opening a short here, and it just reversed on me. It was just the right timing. I misread the chart. I knew that I already had my 3 levels. We tapped this liquidity here, so it's like a 3 drive down into the liquidity just to reverse. Failure to break the low of previous week. Yeah, made that mistake. So that's the hard thing about trading, is just managing yourself, um, resisting those emotions. It's just being super super detached, not really caring at all. So let's see what we got today. Nothing's super clean. Like I said, this was quite an aggressive retrace on Ethereum, and on Bitcoin we had 1, 2, and that third one didn't break this low. So it's not that bearish. It, these up there are my two trades, higher time frame. So that ETH that was already on from up here, and that Bitcoin one that I entered somewhere here. So yeah, little bit negative on Bitcoin and positive on ETH. This is on my 100K higher time frame. I have to change the names. This is the higher time frame, and this is my daily one where I've got no trade and I'm up 3% almost on it. I have to change those names. I made a mistake. I renamed them the wrong way. Right, that's fixed. So yeah, price is a bit of a mess so far, but regarding what I have here, I'd like us to go lower. I leave that on. I have to remind myself that I'm trading on breakout prop, and they've got a maintenance for UK tonight, so I've got probably half an hour where I won't be able to enter a trade. On the 12 hour, you can see how Ethereum is still squished between the 50 and the 200. So it's sort of, it can break up as well. But that's a nice railroad track to the downside. We closed below the 50 just. And on Bitcoin, we have that retest of on the 4 hour. So in my view, is really bearish from here. Once we broke above those two highs, once we break above those two highs, that's when I'm gonna switch my ideas. Bitcoin's been quite bearish as well compared to Ethereum. And the key is that Ethereum is into that supply Bitcoin failed to make new highs, still holding very bearish, and Ethereum every time of the 200 EMA 12 hour seen rejections of it. We sort of a little bit in that same situation here, see? And we did have as well. So we don't have it now on Ethereum, but this is the same setup as what we have now on Bitcoin, that double retest of the 4-hour 200 before going down. So that's why I didn't enter my short of this candle here. I was looking at it here the whole time, but I wanted to see maybe a retrace. We did grab that liquidity, yeah, and rejected the 12-hour 200. That's why I entered my short. So let's see, invalidation here on Bitcoin is really those two highs. If we break above, then we might still be ranging and turn bullish at some point. And Ethereum is that railroad track. Don't really want to go above 50%, which is 50% of Monday as well. And this is invalidation, breaking back above those highs. Nothing super ideal right now, but we do have, divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum here. It's better to see them at some highs or lows. But yeah, so it is. And most of the time in my head is like, I know from experience, Bitcoin's the one that's going to take the liquidity. See how it did grab it here on, that's what I'm talking about when I say divergence on highs and lows. You have clear divergence here between Ethereum and made a low high, and Bitcoin grabbed the liquidity and made a high. This is why here I re-entered that trade on. This was all a bit of a mess, but on the 1 hour you had this big move down. That's when I re-entered 0.5%. on Solana we could very well. So that's one drop. There's a clean 1, 2, 3 in there. Then we had two up, grabbing liquidity. So there's a bit of an M now. That's why I don't really like the fact that this W is not playing out and it's creating an M. But we could get a second leg down into those areas where I really wanted a retest, and then we could still pump up from there. That's the scenarios on Solana. Take this low, create a second leg down. Doesn't have to go in this zone, but ideally take this low, okay, second leg down. And the high time frame is still somewhat bullish, but I wanted to exit this trade because I didn't like this lower high. But yeah, this can happen too. I'm recovered from the sickness pretty much as well, which is really good. I had about 3 weeks of struggle and feeling weak, and yeah, wasn't too nice. So yeah, maybe my stream's gonna be boring if I'm just waiting for a couple trades a month. But you know, I'm here at the charts, so might as well record it. This is for myself first. And if people enjoy it, then great. So I'm seeing lower, I think from here. There's lower targets that I have on Bitcoin and Ethereum. The only thing is we already have 3 drops here. So, and the third one being weak, not really going much lower. We could get an extension like we did here in the bull market. You had 1, 2, 3, and that extension which was on low volume. So tail sign that we were going to top. So that's why I'm thinking there's a chance where we just pop up a bit. Never know in trading. Never really know. And no one knows. That's the thing. No one knows. I haven't done my weekly review of last week as well. I've been lazy and really wanted to disconnect, so I'll probably do it today. I'll have to, so I'll have a record of every week. It's good. Like I said, it's for myself first. This is a journal, and it's so cool that I can record the live streams and record videos of how I was thinking, what trade I took, what was my mindset, and then I can go back in a year time, and watch those videos, those recaps. It's clearly nothing that is smack in the face right now. This clearly looks like a build-up before really taking that low once and for all. I don't like when it's downtrend like this, entering a move. Sometimes we do shoot lower, but it's harder than entering a move on a retrace up like this. Yeah, real bad price action on the lower time frame. Might get stuck in that range for a bit longer. Good set of candles here on Bitcoin. I was thinking about those live stream because if my plan is to trade less and really come when things are obvious, really I shouldn't be standing at the laptop like this for 2 or 3 hours per session. I should really have my high areas of interest, come back when we hit them, and wait for those reactions, and be ready. But the thing is, if you want to be ready as well, sometimes you just have to stare at the charts. Because I said many times that sometimes in a chop or in something not that clean, you can have a clean setup. Like this one was a clean setup. I can't emphasize enough that this is, you have the set of these three candles, morning star, and you have the same here, morning star. That creates a nice W. And then those lows within that W, you have a liquidity sweep. So this low here goes lower than this one. This is just beautiful. Nice breaker, a beautiful breaker as you have strong displacement that grabs the liquidity, gets ran through. We even have a gap here on that BitGet chart. So this was really ideal. Yeah, and then still be realistic with your targets. Because for me here, the entry was at the Asia Open. I was at work, so I did not trade this. This is hindsight. And then here was this gray area, was a 1 hour fair value gap, displacement, imbalance. You don't really want to target higher than that. You know you're going to tap this high. You want to be out. And this was a beautiful trade, 1.6, beautiful trade. Minus the fees, so surely like a small stop loss like this, probably have 0.3 or something of fees. So let's say a 1-to-1 trade, risk 1,000, make 1,000. It's nice, really nice. This one was a bit more ballsy, but it's not a breaker, but it's a nice W retest of the W of the 50 EMA. I love those setups. Those setups are honestly the best. This was more so an inverse fair value gap here on the high time frame. Not 1 hour, maybe 4 hour. Where did I mark it on? All right, just this imbalance, let's say. There's another one that I really like on the high time frame, and that's Tau. I'm not in this trade. This was an idea. But Tau really, it's sort of just ranging the whole time, and you have this clean low highs, but we're still holding those levels. And from that October 10 week, is that the one? Yeah, October 10th week. We didn't even grab the low of that week. There's a clear demand here, moved higher. And we took this low just only slightly. And this is a big, long, tight range sort of accumulation. So, and we are in that demand. So yeah, I think higher time frame. It's on the 78 of that whole move. It's a really good level. Don't really look at fibs, but on higher time frames I do. 78.6. It's just such a good level. So yeah, high time frame Tau. I think it's pretty good. It looks like a big accumulation before it's gonna break out at some point. I'm not spot on it, but I might. Or I might play a high time frame trade on perps. And this is why Solana as well is on. If you look at the bull market, we are the 78.6. 78.6 with a sweep. That's why I'm somewhat bullish from this point, and I don't really have a target where price needs to go back here lower. So I like this slow forming. The only thing I think is it's gonna take way longer. I might go up, down. See how long that took here. And so the high of previous cycles, November, we had the very next low a year later in November. We only started popping up 2 years later, like a little bit less than 2 years. Altcoins will only pop after Bitcoin will start popping. So I think that's the plan here. But is it potentially a low? Yeah, definitely. What's the risk here being spot? Which goes 20% risk. It's not that bad. We break this low, you just get out. That's the thing I've learned with investing is that you need to treat it like a trade. Don't be buy here and it goes lower, you buy more. I mean, this is my own personal view from what I've experienced, because once it starts breaking and going lower, you never know when it's going to stop. There's nothing telling you that we're not going to you go lower than this. I doubt it. But there's nothing telling you that we can't go there. So it's more so you average down on your entry, you think you're doing well, but you're just buying something that keeps dropping. You want to wait for the low to form, market structure break, retest. You want to buy here. You're like, oh, I missed the low. Yeah, but you're buying here when price is already moving up. So you're not suffering any drawdown. When you buy here, if you buy here and it goes lower and you buy here, this position is 30% in drawdown. And it will go a bit lower. You're like, oh, yeah, cool, I'll buy more. But this first entry is a lot in drawdown now. And that second one is in drawdown as well. So it's Len's Breinstein concept. Just buy the right side of the V. Buy on this side. You didn't take the very low, but it's like if you were to buy, this was the massive drop. You buy once we break this high, man, you got no drawdown. Obviously, this is hindsight, but you get no drawdown. What if you thought this was a sweep and we were going to move higher like we are now? And this is, what time is it? June, July. See, it's pretty much same timing. Exactly same timing for a similar pattern. This is smaller than this, but a similar pattern. You have no confirmation, and then boom, broke lower. And that was a 70% drop. That hurts. That hurts a lot. See that 20 EMA on the weekly, break back above, retest, boom, you're safe. You above the 50, you're safe. Could wait for the same thing here. 50 is a fair way back. That's why I think we're gonna range, and then 50 is gonna catch up. So far, we are still stuck in that triangle. This could be a trade here. Evening star, crowd liquidity, inverted hammer of the 50. Not super ideal for me. So not taking this. It's a bit crap now. And we're holding. Like I said, we didn't. Like I know taking the low would be the target, but I just don't like how we didn't break it here that we stopped before. This is disgusting. I'm really so confident about that double retest. And this was nice on, where's my pen? Ethereum as well. Big move up, big move down, and then retest the whole thing. Be really surprised if we go up from here, but you know, everything's possible. La 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 la. So there you go, by the way, that's my Bitcoin high time frame short. I went a bit tighter with the stop loss, which is risky. This is greed. Still not having my stop all the way up here. Just got it here. Did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Like, honestly, I really wouldn't like to see us coming up back up here, but as I always say, it is possible. What did I wanted to look at something to remember what. Yeah. If we had a bit more of a candle of that low here on that bonus chart, but we didn't. I was looking at this. This is a bit of a pattern that I like, but usually have a bit more of a wick. Big move down, wick. Then you create this round top, and then it's like two pushes up that grab liquidity, which like this one did here. And then we did grab it again here. And then create an M and then down and take that low. I love this pattern. Happened so many times on a high time frame. Oops. Maybe we're gonna create it here. Of the 4 hour, I can show you. That's a really good one. A little bit of what we had here, a bit too high, that's when there's two here. There's this one, big wick, arc like this, 1, 2 levels up, did grab this liquidity here, information. Either you go straight down, another good one is break, retest of the 50 EMA, and then boom, take that low. That's your trade. Enter somewhere here, target that low, or you enter on the retest of the 50, target that low. And what did I say? This one was the case. We didn't have that massive wick here, but you do have the same pattern, round, like arch type stuff, H pattern, 1 move up, 2 move up, grab liquidity, drop down, retest the 50, take that low. Maybe. If we do come back down here, that'll be a bit tempting. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me with it. Oh, it's gonna do it. Don't want to be tempted like this. It's just so low time frame, but it is the exact setup to talk about. Just don't have that big wick, and it's really low time frame. Oh, it's gonna close like this on 5 minute. That's a expensive stop loss on Bitcoin. Something that tight, I would say. 63,708. $1,000 risk. 135 US to open, which is all right. It's $270. It's like a bit more than a quarter of the trade of fees, open and close. It's actually $900 risk now. So if it's 960, that much risk, you lose, then you lose 1,200, pretty much, a bit more. That's why you either deduct it from your risk, but then your risk reward is like your 3.4R won't be of $1,000, will be of 750, which is painful. Do you like this trade idea? Am I forcing it? Maybe. I said I was just gonna be smacking the phrase trades, but this is a really good setup that I do like. Let's see. We'll be patient. Let's see if we get a bearish engulfing here. I want to see. Okay, there's my M, bearish engulfing, and then an inverted hammer after that. So that's another 15 minute plus 7. We might not get it, but if we do get that, okay. And target wise, like asking for the low of the week, that's a big ask. What's the first area you'd get? Very much this low. Call that a break-even point, and then you have this big imbalance here. Yeah, tapping those highs. Something like this, being conservative. 3.5, that's insane. Call that your break-even point, potentially. I like to be aggressive with the break-even, but sometimes it just works around against you. Like that trade I took on it. Was just so lucky it didn't go break-even. But high time frame, so I didn't want to go break-even on this one. Come on, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gonna give me exactly what I said. It is that exact pattern. It's just so clean. Round, one push, two push, grab liquidity, information. It was. It's quite clean. Let's see if we get someone over retest. Maybe we'll just shoot down. Good read of the market. Experience pattern wise, like those patterns, I've seen them so many times. This is on the 5 minutes, so it's very low time frame. It's just gonna shoot down.
I cannot believe I drove.
Shut up. I said bearish engulfing, inverted hammer. I get inverted hammer on the 5 minute. It's just gonna shoot down. That's chasing. Sometimes better be chasing because you don't get that perfect entry. I still do think that we were gonna get it. That's the 15-minute candle closed as a decent bearish engulfing. We're gonna get that retest. Still decent from there. At this point, I'd be happy to lower my stop loss to that second peak because there's no price has got no business returning to that level. If we do retest bearish here, that's the daily open as well. It's quite strong. So let's see what we get. Coming to the retest area. Do I execute or not? It is such a good setup, honestly. Talking about that pattern. Usually, the thing is, I'd have a bigger wick here, and so I would take my entry from the M, a bit more aggressive. Probably don't wait for the retest, but this would be my target. Whereas now, I mean, this low, I would just go break even from here. It's a bit aggressive compared to that entry here. That's why I was thinking this low, because ideally it'd be the target. Break even here. Target. The base of that displacement here. Or this low of the wick. It's a bit of a drag the stop loss, you know, the drag the TP. I do like to do this when I can. If it goes towards my planned TP, I just stay aggressive with my I drag my stop. So yeah, drag my stop loss as a TP as it breaks that certain point, and then I'll take when I can on top of it. I don't catch the whole move, but I just get super aggressive with the entry, with the exit. Sorry. This is a nice, you know, channel before continuation. Let's see if we retest this zone bearish. Clearly have the on the 5 minute that candle that breaks the 50. Probably decent volume in there. Not massive. But retest of that candle and the 50 MA is a great point. Like I said, if we get an inverted hammer here, that'd be nice. It's not the smack in the face trade I was talking about earlier. But it is quite respecting some of my favorite setups. This will be a decent 5 minute candle close. First close in that manner. It's tempting. Super tempting. Last time I said something was super tempting, it was beautiful trade. I just did not execute because it didn't respect my plan, the plan I had at the start. If I was in that trade from there, so being aggressive that I said, oh, tempting, I would hate right now to see price at my entry and not respecting that zone, not respecting that breaker. That would be very uncomfortable. It's a nice M, but it's a bit tight for the 15 minute. Oh, that's the close of that next 15-minute candle in 3 minutes. We're getting everything I said I wanted to see. This is the why? I mean, it's not that I don't want to trade. It's just I'm a bit doubtful about it. But we are getting everything I wanted to see. Oh no! Now comes the pressure of executing or not on that trade. Damn. I mean, nice railroad track on the 5 minute. A bit higher than what I'd like, but still respecting that 50. Still respecting that breakout. Yeah. Man, it's tempting. And then getting exactly that inverted hammer I asked for. I really asked. Like I said it. I can feel the pressure. It's lowering my targets right now. How's that 15 minutes? That's a beautiful inverted hammer. I'm gonna go in with a small risk. I'm actually not small risk, I'm for 1% risk on it. Uh, 63,379. 9 entry. All right. In that trade. I had to. I had a plan and idea and everything. I respected what I said. So have to execute on. I would not feel bad at all if take the loss on this. Just the fact that it's was it the smack in the face, smack in the face? Yes and no. But yeah, I can't neglect that setup. Let's see what we get. What's my trade fees on this? Would be quite a lot. $100. Yeah, $100 fee. Actually, by the time I entered, I was a full 1% risk on, so $1,200 on the line on this trade. It's a bit tight to have my stop loss at break even here now, but it's just a level to pay attention to. Usually double check my trade once I'm 2 hours in. So there, usually put a timer on as well. Oh, we're already almost 2 hours into the stream. I would have liked a drop down, you know, like a straight drop from my entry. That's what we all want. This, yeah, setup's so good. That pattern I talked about. All right, don't have to think about anything now. Just let it play out. That's the thing I don't like about this one is this 1, 2, 3 drop, not breaking this low. I would be uncomfortable if we get above this high as well. Like I wasn't. It's not because the price is reacting that way now. I wasn't really 100% on this, which is not respecting what I said about the way I want to trade. But I couldn't disregard this setup. I got everything I wanted. This retest was a bit high, which is not like extreme weakness. this breaker. We're on a 5. The fact that we went higher than that as a retest, I would have liked just a retest of the zone, not to go so high. And that big candle was a bit too fast as well. It's created that easy inverted hammer that is tempting for a lot of people, and that can be a trap. That can be a trap. Really not ideal from the entry to be in drawdown straight away. Uncomfortable it is. Honestly, looking at the higher time frame, all these lows here, it's just such a good target for liquidity. But yeah, so that low of the week. So that's a bit far down, but yeah, stretching the trade. That could be a beautiful trade. Could be. Just don't like the way it's just ranging for now. And not breaking down. Oh. Did I put a TP on this? I think I did. 62873. Yes, that's the TPF, but I'm going to put an alert if we do get down there a little bit before. And I'm going to take that TP off. This is not being greedy. It's just that I'm going to see how price reacts to those levels and see if I can try to milk this trade to that level. Which I think it's ideally the final target be those lows. Those 3 lows here. But, you know, still in drawdown. Yeah, deleting take profit. All right. It's not bad as long as we keep rejecting this area and the daily open. What do we get on the 15? It's crazy the states that trading puts you in, like physically, that stress and the pressure, and it's really hard to relax. I know, maybe with more experience, I know I'm more relaxed than I was in the early days. You still feel that tension, and I hate losing. I hate losing, and I know that I have to be comfortable losing because it's part of the game. But when you got objective, trying to be funded again, etc. Especially after all these months of struggle, yeah, you sort of don't want to lose. But I finished last week on Friday with a really good win and really confident trade, more confident than this one that I'm in now. So it is a good point. Just always try to stay onto that the winning streak and the good vibe, as much as it can be very dangerous because it's just too much confidence. Just doesn't want to break down. It's definitely not comfortable spending that whole time in drawdown. But respecting the breaker so far and respecting the daily open, it just feels like when we don't break down straight away that market maker or whoever is just making up their mind and they might change it. Oh, I haven't had a break as well. I need a break. It's been 2 hours, a bit more than 2 hours in the stream now. I usually have way more break in between candles. I'd have like usually move away as well, possibly from the chart for at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes after I've entered the trade, just to make sure I just don't look at it too much like I do now and sort of get tension from it and just let it play out. But then I do manage how it develops. You know, if I get some sort of a sweep here of those lows that and potential something different, I might close. This is a bit close to my entry, but you know that this is my first target. Ideally, we can drag it all the way down here. It's a bit of a big ask and big move for me to take a trade that long because I like to be in and out within the session and be done quick. But yeah, anything can happen here. This is a terrible drawing, and I'll have to change my mind and exit that trade. So I try to stay away from the entry from when I enter as much as I can, and then I'll come back and then I'll manage after. I feel like from here there's nothing to manage. I've only not spent that much time in that trade, but it just feels like eternity because I'm in drawdown and we haven't moved 25 minutes. always look as well for the 3 hour mark in my session, which is 1:30. So it'll be pretty much at the end of my 2 hour mark where I'll reassess my trade. But liquidity injection 3 hours into the session from the start. Asia and UK is a really good one too, especially. But yeah, all right. I think I'm just gonna call it here because I need a break. I need to disconnect from the chart. I'm in that trade. I'll keep updated on the results on X, and we'll see. I'll be trading UK, so we'll see in UK where that trade is sitting at. See you guys.